So this is it, the final beginner's guide for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, and with each of these guides taking around about 5 or 6 hours to do due to capturing the footage and then the editing and adding in the commentary. I won't lie, this is how I feel right now. But we are there, we made it, we're on beginner's guide number 52, and I would say we possibly have saved the best for last. Now because this will be the last beginner's guide, just at the start of the video I'm going to say if you've enjoyed this series, take the time to hit the like button, leave a comment below and subscribe as well. But other than that, we'll jump into the beginner's guide. So it's Thanos Infinite. He is unlocked by completing the Shadow of Doom DLC on Ultimate, so he'll most likely be one of the last characters you unlock in the game, and he'll be one of the last characters you'll need once you unlock him. You can possibly see from the footage here, he is absolutely incredible, as he should be. Now we'll follow the general format we use for a beginner's guide, but some sections won't be as relevant because his kit actually works really pretty different from other characters. But the general format we will follow, we'll start off with an overview and we'll talk about his stats. His stats are amazing. We'll then have a deep dive into his abilities and talk about them. They're amazing as well. We'll check out the team bonuses, we'll talk about the synergy attacks, we'll talk about what build I would use. That section will be different, I'll just say that in advance, and then we'll have a look at the alternative costumes and then finish up with a quick overview. So let's jump in now and we'll start off by talking at the stats and have a quick look at how he plays. There are some similarities in between Thanos Infinite and the regular version of Thanos in the game, but this is a much more jacked up and fun to play version. When we look at the abilities, both Thanos Infinite and regular Thanos have got a straight split of melee and energy tags, so it's 2 abilities a piece there. Hero trait wise, regular Thanos has super strength. Thanos Infinite has super strength, he has teleport, that's activated via your double jump, and then he's got total resistance. Now no other character has this hero trait, and it means that if an enemy's casting an element on you, be it fire, ice or electricity, you won't have the crowd control effect, so you can't be burnt, you can't be frozen, and you can't be paralysed via electricity either, so that's pretty amazing. In regards to his stats, it's a straight A across the board for all his stats. So just to confirm, that strength, vitality, mastery, resilience, durability and energy that are all up in A rating, which is amazing. The reason really for this, I would say, is that you'll notice in place of the ISO 8 system he's actually got 6 Infinity Stones instead, so you won't be getting stat boosts via ISO 8. And one downside to Thanos Infinite is it means you can't customise his build, but the upside of that is it means you don't have to mess around with that ISO 8 system, which is a bit of a mess and a bit of a pain, to be honest. But he's got the 6 Infinity Stones instead, and that's something we'll look at a little bit more when we actually get to the section where we would normally talk about ISO 8. Now, with this being the final beginner's guide and it being for an awesome character, I'll actually show off some gameplay footage of his light and heavy attack because they're really pretty amazing as well. You can see the light attack on screen at the moment, so he does a series of punches and then you've got all the red crystals that come flying out of the ground at the end of it to send enemies hurtling. You then have the heavy attack, which is amazing, and if you want to be lazy and go through content and absolutely smash it pressing one button, you can do this. You'll never run out of energy and you'll just teleport around the screen and the enemies will find it hard to hit you and you just will absolutely smash them. So really fun there, pretty amazing. In regards to the extreme attack, it's got something I've never seen before. When you cast this, if an elite or a boss is actually stunned, it stops the stun bar on them, so it stops moving while you cast it, which is pretty nice because the animation is a little bit on the slower side, but this is really pretty great as well. It means all your other characters can get your attacks in while the enemy is most definitely staggered, so that's really pretty awesome there. But let's have a more in-depth look now at the abilities. The first ability we look at here then will be your opener, and you'll start off your rotations with this generally, so it's Chrono Disruption. So it's the standard dash move that so many characters have. If you tap the button on this, Thanos will fly forward. You can see all the ground getting destroyed as he does so, so it looks amazing, and he'll do a huge amount of stagger damage. You can see the stagger rating is up at A. If you actually charge it, so it's the time and power stones you'll be charging, if you use this, then you'll in turn use the reality stone to create 2 other versions, so you'll have 3 versions of Thanos flying forward. If you're going up against a solitary boss, just tap it to hit them quickly, but if it's a series of enemies or elites you want to take out, if they're covering the screen, then charge it up and you'll just smash your way through all of them. So absolutely amazing ability. The next ability we have here is No Escape. This is another incredible one. You can see it's got a crowd control portion. It's the one that the Thanos boss uses on you very often, the blue crystals around characters. Now this works on elites and bosses as well, and some of them from other characters seem to have a high resistance to crowd control, but this one seems to activate very often. It really is pretty amazing for locking down bosses. With this as well, you're actually using the 3 stones, the space, the reality and the soul stone. So if you just tap it, you'll get your regular crowd control portion, you'll get the red boulders coming out the ground to do the damage. If you hold it down, then you'll actually be absorbing hit points as well. So really pretty amazing ability, this one. If you're surrounded by enemies and it's lower level enemies, just tap it. If you're surrounded by elites, then you'll hold it down, you'll be getting health back at the same time and you'll do a larger damage portion. But yeah, another pretty amazing ability, this one. The next ability we have is another amazing crowd control one. The last one was pretty good, but this one is incredible. So this will work on your regular enemies and your elites. It doesn't work on bosses, but what you do with this one is you tap the button to use the Mind Stone and you create an area that absorbs energy points. If you hold it down, you also absorb hit points as well through this, and adds a gravitational effect, so it pulls everyone together using the space zone. So you can actually see it there. All the enemies are getting pulled together, and then from there you can use the likes of Chrono Disruption to just smash through them, absolutely destroy them, or else you can use your Infinite Power, hold down your beam and you can smash them as well. And Infinite Power is the next ability we're actually going to look at now. Final ability we have here is Infinite Power. So this one you're using the Power Stone, and if you charge it, you'll then in turn use the Mind Stone. So if you're just tapping the button, you'll fire a beam straight ahead of Infinite Thanos, and it does a really nice amount of damage, and it works as a piercing beam as well. If you hold it down and charge it, it does a sweeping beam instead. Now this sweeping beam against elites, it will stun them. It's some form of crowd control. It says that it actually brainwashes them, but it's just equivalent of a regular stun. When you use it against bosses, the first time you use this, it will take their stacker bar from 100% down to 0. Now it seems that after you use this for a little while, there is some kind of immunity built into the bosses, and it'll be a few more times before you can actually use it again. But at the start of a fight, to be able to just take the stagger bar away is really pretty incredible. It really is a sight to behold. Now in regards to a general rotation I would use, if you're going up against regular enemies and elites, you'll fire off Soul Siphon. You want to hold it down so you're getting the hit points and the energy back, and it's pulling everyone together. From there you've got so many options. You can hold down Chrono Disruption to slam through them, you can teleport in and then fire off No Escape, and you've got the crowd control portion of it, or you can hold down your Infinite Power as well. So really any of the abilities in any order on Infinite Thanos just make them so much fun. But that's all the abilities. Let's have a look at the team bonuses now. Team bonus wise then, Infinite Thanos is part of 5 different teams. You've got Villains, Gods and Demons, Ultimate Alliance Free, Family Values, and then finally Team Leaders. Now one character appears in all 5 of those teams. It is the regular version of Thanos. He's really not a great character at all. However, one thing I will say is Infinite Thanos is such a strong character that you can get into content and you don't have to use the other characters in your team. So if you want to go in and just smash stuff as Thanos with the gauntlet, then what you want to do is try and get a team that's got a nice amount of team bonuses, because if you think back to his stats, they were all up at an A rating, which means the team bonuses you actually get will be boosting the stats even higher. So that is something to definitely consider there. If you want a beast Thanos, then go for the other players you'll be playing with, ones that give a nice bonus from the team bonus system. The next section we'll check out will be the synergy attacks. For the synergy attacks, I'm not sure if you noticed, but when we were doing that ability section, it doesn't have any synergy traits, so Infinite Thanos has 0 synergy attacks. Now obviously from a gameplay perspective that can be a bit of a pain. Certain modes you're running, certain Infinity Trials you maybe need to do synergy damage, so you wouldn't work out well there. But there are 51 other characters you can use, and thematically I love the idea that Infinite Thanos doesn't need anyone else. He doesn't have to pair up with anyone else to kick butt. And thinking back to way before the first Avengers movie, I'm pretty sure there's an end credits scene where he comes down off the throne and says, "Fine, I'll do it myself." And for me this really works pretty nice with the fact he doesn't have any synergies there. But let's now have a look at what would be the build section. Like the last section we looked at here, this section isn't actually applicable. There's no real build you can go for on him because he's not equipping ISO 8 at all. He's got the 6 different Infinity Stones, and when you get into the menu with ISO 8 normally is, you can see the stones here and it gives a small description. There's nothing really that important in the description of them. The attack types aren't really relevant either, but with these here you have the positive, and then it means that, I've already touched on this, but it means you don't have to mess around with the ISO 8 system in the game because the UI is an absolute disaster. I'm a little bit annoyed they never fixed it, but it is what it is. But it means you never have to play around with that, but also it means that you can't really customize your character. And if you had the best ISO, if you had some pretty amazing ISO 8, then in some instances you might be able to push some other characters to be more powerful than this version of Infinite Thanos. But I can understand why they didn't give him ISO there, but dramatically again, I do really like what they've done with this, as much as it does cut down in the build options. Once again, we've got another 51 characters we can use if you're looking to do that. But let's now have a look at his alternative costumes. First costume we have here is an alternative recolouring of his base costume. You need to get the full amount of stars in the Lambda Rift in order to get this one, but I do probably prefer the base colourings. What I have noticed, which is pretty awesome, is that the actual costume picture you can see up the top right, you can see that he's actually got the gauntlet in this, and on regular Thanos he doesn't have that, so it's a little touch, but I do like that. We then have the default version of the Annihilation costume, and this is the one that I run on Infinite Thanos. I think this costume alongside the gleaming gauntlet just looks absolutely incredible. I really do love this one. This says available via the shield depot. It's 400 tokens. If you're not seeing it, same way you would do if you're not seeing any other costumes in there, is you just actually right click the thumbstick to update the store. But this costume, yeah, absolutely love this one. Final costume we have here then is the recolouring of the Annihilation costume. I do far prefer the original colouring of it, but this one, like the previous one, is accessible via the shield depot for 400 of the tokens. Now, for the final time, let's just finish up with a quick summary. Infinite Thanos then is a complete beast. He's what Thanos really should have been in the first instance in the game, and I've seen some people that are a bit unhappy. We've got two versions of Thanos, and they would have preferred to see another character, and I do agree with that, but I'm happy that we got the version of Thanos that we really deserved to get. It's a pity that it took two characters to get it, but he is amazing. He's so much fun to play. You can probably tell that from the glowing beginner's guide that I have given him. That's the final one, number 52. We are finished at last. I think this is around about 9 months, and with it taking 6 hours of time, it's far too late at night for me to calculate how long that's taken to do all these videos, but it is a fair amount of time, and I have enjoyed it. It's been a little bit of a slog at times with some of the characters that I've not been keen on, but overall I've enjoyed this because I do enjoy creating guides and helping people. But that's us. I will mention that I'll try and do a few more videos for Ultimate Alliance 3. There's not a great deal more to cover, but I'm going to do some videos like my preferred team, my top 10 costumes, things like that, because I have seen a few requests for them. But other than that, thanks for sticking with me through all these videos. If you enjoyed them, take the time to hit the like button in this one, see how many likes we can get. Hit the subscribe button as well, because I'll always be around covering Marvel games. And thanks for tuning in, stay safe, and I'll see you all again soon.